Well, Labor's hooked into Campbell Newman in a bare-knuckled launch of its campaign. They made him a laughingstock and called him a liar, and finally unveiled some policies of their own.
It was a love-in Labor's heartland, poking fun at the LNP.
Unlike our opponents, we aren't ashamed of our federal leader.
Bill Shorten taking aim at the government's assets plan.
That's not a policy, that's an ad on Gumtree.
Questioning whether we're still the smart state.
Poor old LNP, they couldn't even keep it on the number plates.
But they were just the warm-up. The main event was Anastasia Palaszczuk.
Is it Campbell Newman who doesn't want to be seen with Tony Abbott, or is it the other way around?
The Labor leader hammered the LNP's record.
We have seen the LNP throw open the door again to those carrying brown paper bags. We've all seen this horror movie before.
But the biggest target was Campbell Newman.
We have had enough of the cockiness, the bullying and the plain nastiness of the last 3 years.
There were new policies, reintroducing a Labor jobs training scheme, a new minister for seniors. They'd ban mines with 100% FIFO workers, and Abbott Point's dredging and government-sponsored railway line would be scrapped.
It's more of the same from the LNP, or the better way offered by Labor.
Campbell Newman knows he's unloved. The trick for Anastasia Palaszczuk is to get the voters who left her party for his to know that the love hasn't died, and now's the time to come home. Labor's heroes like her chances and don't mind ridiculing Campbell Newman either.
He rises on his toes as though he's a seal out of deep water, and his arms are flipping all the time like weak fins.
We'll see who has the last laugh in 11 days. Shane Doherty, 9 News.
Well, Nine's election commentator Peter Beattie joins us now live. Mr Beattie, good evening. Do campaign launches actually mean much to voters?
Andrew, this is democracy in action. This is where the political leaders spell out their policies and programs, and then on election day, Queenslanders can decide who they're going to vote for. We had Campbell Newman on Sunday. Today we had Anastasia Palaszczuk, who was quite solid. She had some modest promises, focusing on traditional Labor areas like jobs and training, education, innovation. She even had a policy for seniors and dementia. And Andrew, the older I'll get, I'll certainly benefit from that sort of policy.
All right. Well, look, Bill Shorten was polished, and by comparison, Anastasia Palaszczuk may be perhaps not so strong. Is there a risk that Labor's kicked an own goal by overshadowing the state leader?
Oh, Andrew, Bill Shorten spoke very well today, and there's no doubt that he was very polished, but he's had a lot more experience than Anastasia Palaszczuk. Bill's been around for a considerable period of time, but she is improving. And I think we saw that today in the policy speech. But it's not surprising that state leaders are overshadowed by federal leaders. John Howard overshadowed me, for example, as did Paul Keating and John Howard. The interesting thing today was there was a bit of humour from both Bill Shorten and Anastasia Palaszczuk, and thank heavens for that. But the interesting thing now, of course, is this is a run to the finishing line. And it'll be fascinating, now that the policy speeches are out of the road, it'll be fascinating to see what happens from here, Andrew.
Good to talk to you. Thank you.